green, we sway with a beer in hand every day. From the tee to the hole, we're just trying to keep control. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. A swing and a miss, oh what a sight. We laugh it off with delight. With each swig from the can, we're the best at this plan. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. No matter the score, we're here for the fun, the sun, the laughs and the pun. So here's to good times and great friends we found in this game where we're barely out of bounds. So grab your clubs and enjoy your brew. We're here to make memories come true in the world of golf and beer. We're barely out of bounds. Cheers. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. For the love of the game and the haze. No matter the score, we're here for the fun, the sun, the laughs and the pun. So here's to good times and great friends we found in this game where we're barely out of bounds. So grab your clubs and enjoy your brew. We're here to make memories come true in the world of golf and beer. We're barely out of bounds. Cheers.
So anyway, as I was saying, I think D-Rap is probably my new favorite artist. Oh, Shows Live.
D-Rap is a best song of the summer, dude.
I think it is the new song of the summer. And you know what? To pay homage to that, I have decided for the rest of 2026 to also be a cringy hack.
Well, I think we're just gonna watch it over and over and over and over.
And welcome back to another episode of Barely Out of Bounds. It's your boy Rico Daddy Slick here.
How did your crew not get out there? They're playing off!
On the green, we sway with a beer in hand every day. From the tee to the hole, we're just trying to keep control. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. For the love of the game and the haze.
I don't know if it's about it this loud. I don't know.
How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to Barely Out of Bounds, the only golf show on the internet.
Facts. It's the only one.
We're gonna have some fun, drink some drinks, talk some golf. How we doing tonight, Zane?
I am feeling like a virgin. You know why? Because I don't.
You've been touched for the very first time.
I can't be drinking tonight, so fun.
Actually,
yeah. Well, because we got member tomorrow. I'm on medication for vertigo. I'm getting a heart monitor here soon. I was a little had some moments today where I felt like I was going to pass out. It's all good in the neighborhood.
Wow, that sounds great, dude. You're like Jason Day.
Yeah.
Right at the height of his career, got vertigo. And
Dude, that's like me. I've had my career, T49 at the Georgia Open.
yeah, I know, dude. T49 at the Georgia Open. It doesn't get much better than that.
It doesn't. Only 49 places better, to be exact.
Yeah, 48.
48 if we're being pinpoint. So, Zach, Scheffler is the man. It is guaranteed. It's confirmed. Did you get to watch any of this past tournament?
I watched a lot of the first 3 days.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of it? I mean, I was expecting there to be a battle, and there just wasn't a battle. Burns. What the heck happened to Burns round 4? That was kind of sad.
What the heck happened to Sam Burns round 4? I turned back into Sam Burns.
Wow.
Actually, he didn't turn back into Sam Burns. He just Sam Burns it.
He Sam Burns it? You're going to have to elaborate.
Plays really great for 3 rounds and then blows up the final day.
That's not very nice, Zach. I think just because you said that, Sam Burns is never coming on the podcast.
Dude, if he didn't come on the podcast because of that, there's a lot of reasons to not come on this podcast.
Now,
if that's
Zach,
his reason.
Now, Zach does have to do some drinking tonight because Zach lost this week. Oh, and he already did it. What did you drink? Uh-oh. So you going to throw up?
No. Mitchum's Thunder Road Classic American Corn Whiskey.
I hate it.
It's the most dog shit drink on the planet. But we got to finish it, so we might as well do it when we lose.
Yeah, that's
That
fact.
way I can celebrate with almost every other piece of liquor I have.
Facts. So,
But to drink tonight, I've got a new beer.
nice.
We've got a float watermelon shandy from Scofflaw Brewing Company right here in the state of Georgia. It's a little goat on there floating in the water.
They're goated.
I haven't tried this yet. But I do like shandies, especially during the summertime. Get more like of a fruity beer.
What is it with you, Jamie, and goats?
Me, Jamie, and goats.
Isn't that the guy with the goat logo?
Oh, yeah.
What is it with y'all and goats, dude?
He told you the story.
I know.
That's phenomenal. That shit is so good.
It's
Hey,
goated.
shout out to Scofflaw. I don't know how y'all did this.
Shout out to Scotland.
Scofflaw. That's phenomenal.
That's what I said.
Dude, I think even non-beer drinkers would drink that.
That's good to know. So, Zach, did you get a chance? Let's go ahead into what happened this past weekend. What happened this past weekend was a slaughter going down in this was the first playoff event, right? I'm not misremembering that. Sorry, it's been a long week.
First playoff event, top
First
70.
playoff event. Yeah. Top 70 players. Dude, it was a rout of the highest order.
Yeah.
Scheffler went from up 2 going into the final round to winning by a total of 8 shots.
Tight one. Came down on the wire.
Here's the thing.
But guess who finished in the top 15?
Who?
Tommy Fleetwood.
Yes, he did.
He was always going to. There was never a doubt.
Never a doubt. We knew that.
Yeah.
We said that on the pod. There was never a doubt he was going to be top 15.
Sungjae also blew up on the final day. So did Tommy Fleetwood.
You picked Sungjae, didn't you?
I picked Tom, Kim, and I think I picked someone else, not Sungjae. Yeah, I might have been Sungjae.
I think you did pick Sungjae.
Maybe. But anyway. Oh, no, I picked Siwoo.
See who?
Siwoo.
Oh, okay.
Siwoo.
That's right. You picked the different Asian.
I picked the 2 Kims instead of the M and the Kim. Although
You
I
should
had
have
all
gone in and
3.
Kim.
I had all 3 on my team at one point before changing it. And then I took out Sungjae for Bobby McIntyre, who was the only player to not score points this week.
That's crazy. Yeah, he WD'd before the tournament. Oh, no.
WD'd after round 1, shot
After
like an
round 1.
82, I think, after
And he was
round
like,
1.
I'm not making it. He was like, I'm not making it.
Yeah, I'm starting to sour on Bobby Mack, I'm going to be honest.
I just think it's such a, unless you're pulling out because of an injury.
I just think he pulled out because he played really bad.
That's what I think happened.
And it's like, dude, there's no cut.
Mm-hmm.
Like, go out there, shoot a 6 under round 2, and then like a 4 under and a 3 under.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, yes, are you going to be at the top of the leaderboard? No. But then don't shoot 12 over round 1.
That's right. That's right.
But if there's no cut, I mean, like, literally, you can use the entire rest of the week to try and come back. You don't only have one day where you have to go, like, insanely low to be, like, middle of the field. Because, like,
Yeah.
what ended up being middle of the field? 1 under. Yeah. 1 under was T34. Now, I'm not saying he could have done that, but, like, at least put in an effort. But anyway, so that's why I'm doing a shot, is because of that murder hobo, Bobby Mack, who withdrew after round 1 after a 12 over par.
Yeah.
So that was not very impressive. World number 2 also struggled. Rory McIlroy shooting a total of 8 over par for the weekend, finishing in technically 4th to last place at 66th alone, only beating Sahith Theegala and Akshay Bhatia. About what you expected?
With that much time off, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I'm just saying, he hasn't played in anything, since the Open? And that's 3, 4, 5 weeks without playing competitive golf.
Yeah. That's a month off, basically.
That's a month off. Now, usually what he does is he'll play before this, like he does with majors. But he didn't do that this time.
Nope.
And it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, for somebody who, he's not treating it like a big deal that he didn't make the 15 event limit or the 15 event threshold.
Well, it's because he knows he's protected. If
That's
we're being
exactly
100% honest, he knows that the tour doesn't have the balls to say your membership's revoked for 2028 or 2027. Which is unfortunately true. But it should be, I think.
Yeah. Now let's go into Scheffler answering questions after winning the FedEx St. Jude. Real quick. This is from Flushing It. He was asked about, how many runner-ups he had going into this event, and what he thought about,
It's dark in here,
being so close but not being able to get the job done. So let's go ahead and I'm going to share my screen real quick.
And then the other thing, and people talk about statistics all the time. I don't quite understand all of them, but it has been a really good year with all your top finishes. But did the runner-ups and the close calls, did it get irritating after a while? Were you fed up with it?
I mean, yeah. I think when you're close and it's not easy to win out here. And I felt like this year, the year that I've had, kind of shows that. How difficult it is. We have a lot of talented guys, and I played some really solid golf over the course of this year, but I hadn't played much, kind of great golf. And, like I said, I had my close calls and, lost a couple playoffs. So it was nice coming into a day in which I had the lead and able to hold that lead and really kind of build on it as the round went on. And, I felt like a week like this was coming, and I felt like I was on repeat all year, just being like, hey, I'm playing solid, I'm close, and it feels good to be answering some different questions at the end of this week.
And then the other thing, and people talk about.
So what do we think about that?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just looked like the putter never got cold this week.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that was really the difference. I mean, he did. I obviously he hit the ball very well, but like, I don't think that he hit the ball that much better than he did in all those runner-ups that he had. I just think he never got cold with the putter. In fact, I think it was round 2. He was extremely hot with the putter, or round 1. It was round 2. Round 2, he got extremely hot with the putter, and that's what pushed him to the top of the leaderboard. And he kind of cooled off in round 3, but like he wasn't like I didn't see him miss the 8-footer that he always misses.
For sure.
I didn't see him miss the 6-footer that he always misses. And you know, that makes a big difference at the end of a weekend. And you know, obviously his putter was hot on the final day. What did he shoot? 8? What did he shoot on the last day?
Thing totaled 17, right?
Got 4 under on the final day.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's getting it done.
That's getting it done on a course that's playing very tough. If you look at the average scoring, I think was that the low round of the final day is tied for the low round.
It's amazing.
Yeah, tied for the low round with Højgaard. No, not Højgaard. Straka.
Yep.
So I mean, like, yeah, he like when he putts, he doesn't have to be the best putter in the world to win every week. He just doesn't. He has to be like middle of the pack.
Well,
if he's middle of the pack with a flat stick, he's winning almost every event.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, if he's making any of those 10, 15 footers, he's winning the event. This does make him the 3rd youngest player to win 21 PGA Tour events, just behind that of Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods. He's also won 10 of those by 4 or more shots, including twice winning by 8.
Yeah.
So the question is like, is this back to, I know we were in kind of a lull period where he wasn't quite getting it done in the winner's circle. He was still, you know, putting up crazy numbers, but is this something where we see him kind of resurge and then we see him dominate next season? Obviously the playoffs, but dominate next season.
Here's the thing with Scotty. Like, obviously, you know, we were talking about last week how like despite top going into this week, like Scotty was undoubtedly probably going to finish in top 5 or 6. Like there was no question that he was going to be like a top 5 or 6 guy at this event. The question everyone has every time Scotty takes a field is, can he put the ball in the hole? Yes, he's going to hit a lot of fairways. Yes, he's going to hit a lot of greens. Can he put the ball in the hole? Can he make birdies? Can he make the putts? Can he save the par? You know, those are the questions that we were asking coming in, not whether or not, you know, he was going to be in the competition. It was whether he was going to win. And, you know, time and time again this year, he's gotten himself into position to have a shot at the win and come up short because he does something stupid on a putting green 90% of the time. So, like, it goes like if he can turn his putting from streaky to consistent, even if his consistent is, again, middle of the pack, he just can't be below, like, strokes gained 50th in the event on putting. Like, he just has to be a little bit better than that. Whereas, like, some guys, like, God, his name, Denny McCarthy, like, he has to lead the field in putting if he wants to compete. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I think, like, and like this was brought up, I saw this post on Twitter, like he's basically at the halfway mark to catching Tiger for the most consecutive weeks at number 1. So he needs to do it for, I think, 2.5 more years.
Very possible.
It's very possible. I mean, there's no, like, technically, there's no downward trajectory in his game. It's not like we've seen him, like, have a bad stretch of golf. He's missed 1 cut this year.
And his swing is not one of those where he's putting a lot of stress on his lower back.
No, exactly.
He's not, you know, it's not a swing that's going to injure him. If he gets injured, it's going to be because of his own. It's going to be because
he's cutting ravioli with a wine glass.
That's right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
But
dude, great call out. Dude.
Yeah,
that was solid.
Hey,
what a pull. Hey,
listen,
all right.
Listen. Here at Barely Out of Bounds, we do our research. But
we do.
But like the question about Scotty this year hasn't been whether he's going to be in contention. I think the betting odds would tell you that that's not the case. Like the betting odds every week is Scotty is going to be the odds-on favorite to win
By a lot.
basically every event that he plays in by a lot.
I mean, he was $3,000 extra spend on DraftKings this week.
Which is why,
for obvious reasons.
Yeah, which is why me and Zane haven't picked him this year, hardly at all.
It's just
because it's the value proposition, the ability to win on DraftKings relies on you picking a guy that no one else is picking.
Correct.
And the value proposition with Scotty is if I buy Scotty, I got to pick two guys that probably aren't going to make the cut.
Well, and that's the thing in the standings. If we look at the winner, I mean, he did pick Scotty. Like all these guys that top, I mean, they just picked, but they spent less money. They picked Sanjay and they picked Poston. You know, they're picking guys that aren't a lot of money. But I just can't get myself to pick. There's one without Scotty. You know, so there's several up here that didn't pick Scotty, but a lot of them did.
Well, a lot of them did because, I mean, like if you pick the winner, you're going to be around the top leaderboard, especially if everyone else is getting 4 rounds, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Which almost everyone did. Only one guy did not get 4 rounds at this tournament.
And that was the guy Zach picked.
That was the guy I picked. So it was awesome. I think I looked at one point on the front 9. He was like 9 over through 8, and I was like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stopped looking at it. And then I saw he WD'd, and I was like...
Because you didn't believe he would WD'd. He was like, Zach's not watching me anymore.
Yeah. He found out I stopped looking at DraftKings. He was like, well, then what's the fucking point?
That's right. He's like, if I can't make Zach happy, I'm just not going to be here.
So, I want to go back to Rory real quick because he had some interesting comments. I sent them to you earlier. I don't know if you had the chance to watch them.
I watched them. Let's play them.
So I'm going to pull that up real quick. I want to see if I can. That post actually doesn't have the interview unless it's tagged in the replies. But let me share my screen real quick. This is coming from Nuclear Golf. This is pre the BMW. So it's this week in pre-round or like pre-tournament interviews.
Practice round interviews. Yeah.
Practice round interviews. Rory McIlroy has taken fresh shots at LIV Golf and its players ahead of this week's BMW Championship. I mean, I would argue, have the LIV golfers, brought value to LIV? You know, I think the PGA Tour is in a really good spot. And then they do betting odds. Apparently, Nuclear Golf.
Do you have the video? Because I have the video.
If you've got the video, go ahead and pull it up.
All right. Yeah, because it was this week. Yeah, this is it right here.
I'll stop sharing.
So let's go ahead and share my screen.
Rory, Scotty was asked about the possibility of LIV guys coming back and whether they bring value, in your opinion. Are there guys, if it goes away, that should be allowed back?
I mean, I'd argue, have they brought value to LIV?
Wild statement.
You know?
Yeah, that's a crazy statement.
I think PGA Tour is in a really good spot.
All right, Bob.
That wasn't the end of his comments. I don't know if you have the rest.
No. That was the end of that comments on that.
On that, yes. That's an insane statement.
And then this is the next one. You ready?
Yeah.
Given your efforts early in the development of LIV Golf, if this week should be its last week, do you take any personal satisfaction from having sort of, I guess, helped?
No Schadenfreude. This is a no Schadenfreude zone.
Call it that? I don't know. How do you feel about it?
It's a hard, like I feel like I've kept my position consistent that LIV has never been a good thing for the game.
Not really.
So, and whatever 2.0 looks like, if it even happens, they're, they say they're trying to be more collaborative and all that, but I don't know. This is the best platform for the top professional golfers in the world. yeah, were there some things at the start of LIV that the PGA Tour could have done better? Or sure, but I think that
That's
the
a
guys
big
that went,
chore.
or you think back to the start with, like, say Phil was unhappy with some stuff or whatever it was. Like, surely that just warranted a conversation instead of blowing the entire professional game.
He tried
up.
making
Oh
the
my
conversation.
God,
So,
that's a crazy thing to say.
I don't take any personal satisfaction of people like losing jobs and like that.
Yes, you
That
do.
doesn't
Shut
that's
up.
doesn't seem right. But I've always felt like this is the best place to play professional golf, and I'm pretty sure if the PGA Tour were handed $6 billion, it would have done a better job with it.
That's also a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, because they were handed.
Well,
They've
it's
been-
not.
they've
It's not
been
only
offered
that.
money.
It's the difference between the PGA Tour has been the only. They've been the only one in the game, basically, for years and years and
Just
years.
admit what it is. It's a monopoly.
Yeah, the PGA Tour is a monopoly. The only way you can break a monopoly is with an inordinate amount of money, like thrown into a product.
Yes, it's yeah.
You have to meet a certain threshold of talent, both on course and on air. And when I say on air, I'm talking about like broadcaster. Like, you have to have a certain level of, okay, these guys are liked by the golf audience. We need to bring these guys in to do the golf broadcast.
Well, the craziest thing about what he's saying is, number one, they did try to have conversations. Greg Norman tried back whenever he was, trying to help the tour out, trying to do the World Golf Championships, which they stole from him.
Yeah.
He not only that, he obviously had advocated over the years for the players. You also had Phil Mickelson advocating for more players' rights, having the rights to their own images.
Basically,
right? They don't even have the right to their own images.
The name, image, likeness stuff.
Pictures of them.
Yeah.
Pictures of them taken on the course at a PGA Tour event didn't belong to them.
Yeah.
They weren't able to use it for their own promotional materials.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so effing nuts. It's stupid. And for the PGA Tour, the PGA Tour essentially through all this has acted like a cartel, much like the NCAA. I mean, this is what it is.
Yep.
And this is why the players left. This is why they left, because hey, there's this big honeypot over there. I'm going to stick my hand in that honeypot because this thing sure is stinging the hell out of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's bees over here. There's honey over there. I'm going where the honey is.
And there's less bees.
And there's less bees. And so.
And then not, you mentioned the cartel thing, which is so correct. Because what happened when players left? What happened when players left is, let's get in touch with the 9/11 families. Let's talk about their lack of moral character.
Think of the moral extortion that happened after the players left.
And moral players left, talking about how, like, if so-and-so leaves, they betrayed the game of golf and they've betrayed blah, 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 or they don't care about playing anymore. It's like, it's all this morality policing on the fact that they wanted more freedom. And frankly, LIV was offering them more freedom.
Oh, yeah. Bryson can YouTube. He can go on there all the time. He can YouTube himself. He can do these celebrity events.
They only have to play 14 events a year.
Like, it was so stupid
Rory.
with the PGA Tour. If you wanted to play, it was so stupid with the PGA Tour. If you wanted to play in like a non-sanctioned PGA Tour event that wasn't like crazy amounts of money, you still had to get released for it.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Well, the crazy thing is these guys, what they should be treated like is private contractors.
Independent contractors. Yes.
They should be treated like independent contractors, and instead they're treated like talent at a talent agency.
That's right.
And the problem with that is if the PGA Tour is going to treat them like talent at a talent agency, then they need to be held to the account that they are basically hiring talent at a talent agency.
I mean, this just proves though that our court system in this country is just corrupt. It's just corrupt.
I 100% agree because
remember, they sued for this very reason and they lost. And they tried saying in court, like, look, this is not like, we're not treated like independent contractors.
yeah,
That's what they argued in court and they lost.
but they aren't.
I can't believe the PGA Tour actually won that. It's similar to platform versus publisher. You know what I mean? That whole thing that happened with Facebook and YouTube and all that, running algorithms, pushing things that weren't viral, that people didn't want to see, but pushing it anyway.
Yes.
It's like you're not a platform at that point, because it'd be one thing if you're pumping out viral stuff that people want to see.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother thing if you're pumping out what you want people to see.
Yes.
Different. It's the same thing with the PGA Tour. You have to play in a certain amount of events. You don't get your name, image, likeness. I get to sell your name, image, likeness to video games so they can use it for profit.
Mm-hmm.
Sell your name and image, likeness to other media outlets.
Mm-hmm.
I get to sell all of that in all of my product, but you don't get any of it.
Yep.
And you don't get paid.
And not only that,
you don't get paid unless you make a cut. Like, you don't get paid unless you win a golf tournament. Like, you don't get paid unless you win, but I get to keep all of this crap for free.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. They're keeping all of that for free. Think of if the Georgia PGA, you played in the Georgia Open. Think of if the Georgia PGA had a release or a waiver that you had to sign that said you don't get to use any pictures that your family has taken for social media purposes.
That'd be a crazy thing.
You'd be like, what the hell? You'd be like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Well, and the one of the crazier parts about that is, we talk about like this contract that these PGA Tour guys have to sign. I mean, like, you're so right on the name, image, likeness stuff is so crazy that they lost the NCAA lost that argument in court.
Yes.
They lost that argument in court.
Yes.
And so
it's essentially the same, and it is essentially the same thing.
100%.
They are student athletes. The argument was they're student athletes. They're getting tuition.
They're getting paid by their tuition. Yeah,
that's right. It was the same thing.
And then, you realize that the PGA Tour is profiting immensely from the fact that they're able to fill out fields with these guys that aren't named Rory McIlroy, who, by the way, they're giving preferential treatment to.
Yeah, they hand them sponsors from time to time.
Yeah, the sponsor.
Wyndham Clark, PGA Tour Studios just is trying to rebrand Wyndham Clark into a nice guy by having him do this like thing that what's that guy did where he dressed Jared Goff, you know how he dressed up in like they're doing something like that with Wyndham Clark to rebrand him to
Wyndham Clark's
enhance his image.
Wyndham Clark is just a dick.
Yes.
And you know what?
You're never going to convince me Wyndham Clark isn't Wyndham Clark, just like you're never going to convince me Colin Montgomery ain't Colin Montgomery.
Well, the crazy thing is if like the PGA Tour is focused on being an entertainment product, which, by the way, when this whole situation started, they were supposed to be a nonprofit and somehow found billions of dollars in their bank accounts just out of nowhere.
Here's the crazy thing is Georgia PGA has media people. No one's saying you can't have media people or make some entertainment arm of your organization. Nonprofits do that shit all the time.
100%.
There's no problem with it. The problem is when this seems to be some kind of cockamamie money funnel toward certain people.
We'll just say certain people.
Right? We won't name those people.
Javon Hand. Sorry, I sneezed.
Zach, your sneezes are sounding a bit shaky.
Honestly, what I'm thinking of doing, and it would take a very long time. I want to, by the end of the year, do like a documentary on the Jay Monahan saga with the LIV Golf.
We should do it together.
Because Honestly, it is crazy.
It was, dude. That timeline was nuts.
That timeline is crazy because we've done it on the show several times.
I mean, we're
gone
talking
over it.
a month between the 9/11 families, and we got this PIF agreement.
Yeah. The timeline is insane. The amount of money that Jay Monahan made during that time is insane. When the tour is falling apart, basically, players are leaving
because they're
constantly.
selling off parts of the tour.
Yeah,
They're selling it off to investors.
players are leaving, and Jay Monahan is giving himself pay raises.
Yeah.
While the big problem is the purses haven't grown significantly in like 10 years, even though the game has grown exponentially since COVID, the purses aren't growing. Eyeballs are more on the sport than ever, but the purses aren't growing. Why aren't the purses growing? When we know they should be.
And they're offered. Like, it's not like these weren't offered.
And the crazy, and you're going to, we talked about Phil Mickelson earlier. Phil Mickelson came to them
with $1 billion deal.
With $1 billion sponsorship deal.
$1 billion.
And they didn't even take a meeting.
And so that's why you hear Rory McIlroy talking about, this is why you talk. You know, this is, I'm not going to bring up this, but there was a certain debate that happened over this past week.
Zane, I'm
not going to say any specifics, but one of the points that was made in it was exactly this. One of the points that was made in it was exactly this. It was like, so like, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember. But it was like, so what? And it's like, what do you mean, so what? Like, what do you mean? The meeting wasn't taken? Like, what do you, it was this. It was somebody was saying, oh, look, it's amazing what happens whenever you treat somebody in good faith. And it's like, wait a second. What was the whole first few months of this was taking a good, what are we talking about? It's the same thing. They gaslight you because it is they will never confess to them acting like a-holes. They will never do it.
I have no comment because I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm not going to comment.
No, I don't need you to comment. I don't need you to comment. We're not talking about it. I'm just saying the same. He's doing the same thing, and it's just gaslighting you. It's gaslighting you into not thinking about what the timeline actually looked like.
Well, the crazy
timeline, there were plenty of talks. This is crazy. It wasn't just Phil. There were plenty of conversations.
Yeah.
The guy before Jay Monahan had conversations.
Mm-hmm.
There were plenty of them.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to say there weren't conversations, just gaslighting to the high.
Well, and not only that, it was Greg Norman was like, well, like at the beginning of this, and you can go back and look at the interviews with Greg Norman because we did it on Chunk and Run podcast, the podcast that predates this one.
Ayo, Chunk and Run.
We did it on that podcast where Greg Norman, at the beginning of LIV Golf, when it was just an idea, they didn't have like the big PIF investment. It was just an idea. And Greg Norman was trying to reach out to the PGA Tour about a collaborative effort to do like a series of events that highlighted the best players in the world as like an exhibition type thing.
Yep.
Was basically the idea. And the PGA Tour told him basically to F off.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that like conversations didn't happen, no, the PGA Tour has been actively anti-player in this whole situation. They've been entirely anti-player.
Oh, no, that's without a doubt. We know that from the Ryder Cup picks. We know that from the picks for who's on the board, for who's on the player advisory board. We know that from the picks for the President's Cup, like players that are rightfully deserving of a spot, not getting a spot because they aren't part of the quote unquote team yet.
The boys club.
They haven't put in enough. By the way, and we haven't talked about this, and maybe we'll talk about this as we get closer and closer to the President's Cup. But the fact that you're getting so much of these Golf Channel nuttos just writing off Jackson Koivun because he hasn't played enough and because he just turned pro. I'm sorry. I seem to remember the Europeans picking a certain player called Ludwig Oberg, who ain't done shit yet.
Up to that point,
And then he crushed us. So, like, I'm sorry. This is why you have captains picked. We've said it on the show a million times. Sorry, Zach. I know I just rerouted the conversation to President's Cup for no freaking reason. But the point is that, like, this is what they do. This is what they are, anti-player. They are anti-meritocracy. It's why I do like hearing Brian Rowlap talking about more meritocracy in the sport. Because at least it's being said.
Yeah.
At least it's being said.
Instead of just, this is the history, this is the best place to play.
God, dude. And then changing the entire tour.
Yeah.
To cater to the top echelon of play.
Yeah.
It's just the gap again. That's the gas.
Their response to LIV was basically make a second LIV on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, it was. Let's protect all of these guys that would leave if we didn't do this.
Yeah, I mean, that is what it honestly was. And like, you'll also hear, and going back to Wyndham Clark, you'll hear guys like Wyndham Clark saying like, "Oh, it was never a serious conversation." It definitely was. They just wouldn't meet his number.
Yeah. That's exactly right. And that happened. I bet you that happened with more than just Wyndham. I bet you that happened with a lot.
I think it happened with Finau as well, who is struggling right now.
Yeah, I think it happened with a lot of players. I think it happened with Scheffler. I think it happened with Finau. I think it happened with him. It happened with a lot of guys. Yeah. And so, like, man, like, I can't stand the dishonesty. That's where I'm at with all of this, with everything.
Yeah,
I just can't stand the dishonesty. I want you to be straight with me. I want you to shoot straight with me. It's similar to, like, we had this issue at work this week where we had a guy get fired, and the dude just kept lying to me, like lying straight to my face. It's like, dude, just admit that you did something wrong and that you won't do it again. That's all we're asking you. It's the same thing with this. Just admit that you didn't do the right things. But if you ask Rory McIlroy, you ask Jay Monahan, they did all the right things because they won, because they ended up winning, because LIV died. Right?
And LIV only died because of war in the Middle East.
Yes! LIV died because of a war. Like, that's why it died. It had nothing to do with anything you guys did.
Yeah.
Zilch.
Yeah.
It's because they couldn't game plan for future capital because of what's going on.
Yeah.
That's why.
It's 100% why.
And
they had to cut something because I still think the PIF is interested in investing in other areas outside of oil.
Well, they are. I mean, they still are invested in soccer.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They cut LIV's funding because LIV wasn't as profitable as their soccer league.
Yes.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
They were probably
other things. And it wasn't as profitable as the racing, as the what did they do? Those air sports still?
It wasn't as profitable as any of those things. That's why they cut them.
Yeah. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
It was their least profitable of those sporting investments.
Well, and it's a scale thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's bottom line it. It's a scale thing, and they just couldn't scale because golf is global, and that takes an inordinate amount of money.
And what we talked about when LIV first started is, like, in order for this to work, it needed to be like a 10-year plan. It was never going to be successful immediately, and that's why you're okay with funding.
Bless you.
And that's why you're okay with basically putting an unlimited number on the amount of money that you're putting into it. Because, like, if you're trying to make a competitor to the PGA Tour, which has basically made itself a hegemony because the European Tour kowtowed to it.
Yeah.
If that's your plan, is to make a competitor to the PGA Tour, then you need to be okay basically writing a blank check.
Absolutely.
Because not only do you need the players to be okay with sacrificing all the players they've had to sacrifice to go over there, which I'm not like I'm gonna say it. Sacrificing all the things they had to sacrifice going over there because they get banned from the PGA Tour. They lose OWGR points, which hurts their ability to get into majors, which ultimately that's the tournaments the players want to play in. They want to play in the majors.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but like you're talking about infrastructure. You're talking about you need to make deals with great golf courses that people want to see golf at.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about all these different elements of the professional side of the game. And then on the other side of it, you have the PGA Tour basically telling courses that if you host an event here, you will never hold a PGA Tour event.
Facts.
And that came out of LIV is like we've called several courses that we wanted to, work with, and they basically told us that the PGA Tour already contacted them and told them that if we hold a LIV event here, that they will never hold a PGA Tour event here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it like you talk about the way that the PGA Tour acted like a cartel, how the PGA Tour says, or like guys on the PGA Tour, I say guys, Rory says, I just feel like a conversation needed to happen. When conversations were happening the whole time.
The whole time, dude.
Or trying to happen. Let me rephrase.
The whole time, dude.
LIV Golf, if you look at their first season schedule, what were their tournaments around? They were around the biggest events on the PGA Tour. They didn't schedule for the API. They didn't schedule for Sawgrass and the Players. They didn't schedule around. They kept it free around the majors. They kept it free around Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's all these big events on the PGA Tour that like people will watch. I'm sorry, John Deere Classic. You're probably not one of the most watched PGA Tour events on the planet.
Yeah.
But like the events that LIV was scheduling their events around they were trying to give it on a PGA Tour, basically an off week when Rory's not even playing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, to be fair, that would be 98 weeks out of the year. But like, we're talking about PGA Tour or LIV, like on purpose, scheduled their events to not run alongside the big PGA Tour events in hopes that the PGA Tour would let these guys get releases to play in these events.
Yep.
And they didn't. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's not like LIV came in as super hostile to the PGA Tour. The PGA Tour came in as super hostile to LIV.
Yep.
Which I think if, again, you talk about conversation, I think if you have a conversation early on saying basically like, we want to be collaborative with the PGA Tour. We want to give these players a chance to make more money, et cetera, et cetera. I think if a person in good faith is arguing on behalf of the PGA Tour, I think they would concede to that.
Yeah.
But the PGA Tour has never been about, what's best for the players, what's best for the game of golf. The PGA Tour is about what's best for the PGA Tour, and at the time, what's best for Jay Monahan.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that interview today, and I saw the what he said in the interview, and I was just like, this is so ridiculous.
It is.
But anyway.
Anywho.
So
let's talk briefly about this, and then let's get into the BMW Championship. This happened. I don't think there's words to describe.
Are you gonna pull up what I was gonna pull up?
You are. I am. We will. Here it is.
There it is.
Guess who's back? Back again. Scotty's back. Sung J M. I've created a monster because nobody wants to see Bennett no more. They want young Remy. He's chopped liver. Well, if you want Remy, this is what I'll give you. A 68 on Thursday, but a 6-1 is sicker. So the LIV won't let me be paying John Rahm way more than me. Fitzy jumped me down at RBC, but it feels so empty without me. Now this looks like a TPC, so everybody just lose to me because I'm back and I want the trophy because it feels so empty without me. Guess who's back? Back again.
I can't.
Scotty's.
I almost threw up.
Sorry,
There are
I
tears coming
I
in
had
my
to
eyes.
mute my microphone to scream at the top of my lungs.
I have tears in my eyes, dog.
Zach, what? All I gotta say is,
Oh,
what in the world was this?
dude, the PGA Tour is paying this guy.
That's what I can't believe.
We talk
This-
about all the bad
this
things the
dude-
PGA. Wait, no, pause.
This dude
We talk
is
about all the
forced
bad
on
things.
us.
We talk about all the bad things that the PGA Tour does. This might be the worst. The fact that this guy is making significant amounts of money to do that. Listen, people complain about Pat McAfee all the time when you talk about like general sports.
Yeah.
Dan Rappaport in the game of golf is so much worse.
It's
The
so
fact that
worse.
he is a respected person sucks.
It is miles worse than the people complain about Pat McAfee.
I get it. Pat McAfee can be annoying. In fact,
I think it's only because he's as pervasive as he is. I think that's why. I think
he's
it's
a
because
little
he's in
annoying.
everything. It's like how everybody's tired of what's his face because he stars in every movie, Pedro Pascal. It's like everybody's distaste of him. It comes from him just being in everything.
He's also kind of annoying as like a person.
Sure, but if he was in only like 2 movies, you wouldn't be like,
Well, yeah,
I
I
hate
mean, like
Pedro
people wouldn't complain
Pascal.
about it as much,
You
but the
know what
fact
I
that
mean?
he's in everything means he does a ton of interviews and says a bunch of stupid shit that you're like,
I just think this needs to die the quickest death.
and
like
the
this.
fact, and there's a couple other things like he just like, I think he took the role. I think he's taken a couple roles just for the money because he knows he's going to get paid a lot, and I just haven't seen him performance wise. I haven't seen him act well in like a hot minute.
Yeah. By the way, I actually have the most likes on the replies, which is kind of funny. I just put, this has to be the cringiest video at Dan Rappaport has ever done. And
Which
that
is
is
saying a lot. Yeah.
That's saying a lot.
Oh my God.
I mean, it was bad, dude. This was worse than the crying thing after Tiger got in the wreck. This is way worse. No, brother. This is worse than that. And that
you know what?
terrible.
I will agree. I will agree because I don't think the Tiger thing actually brought tears to my eyes. That one almost made me cry. That almost made me cry. I was just like, I almost threw up and cried at the same time. It was a crazy experience. I hope none of you have to go through that.
That's a wild experience, Zach.
Yeah.
But, dude, it is so funny.
It
Like,
wasn't out of joy. The
Dude.
tears weren't joy.
Dude, this is I mean, if you just read the comments, it's the funniest thing you've ever seen. Somebody, Cutterus Queen, said, I just drove into a tree. Oh man. And then somebody added the
Dude.
FBI and DHS and said this guy right here.
I love the sarcastic comments. It was like, this guy at Benny Boom's Army. Great stuff here.
Yeah. No, dude, that was great. That FBI at DHS. This guy right here.
Golf used to be cool, man.
Go take him. Yeah, dude. Go take him.
One video was enough. People have families.
A parody account put 100% gay.
I mean, like, listen, here's the thing. Listen, if I'm going to give Dan the benefit of the doubt, because,
Don't do it.
I'm Captain Good Faith here. Captain Good Faith. If I'm going to give Dan the benefit of the doubt, I believe he likes, like, the aughts, like, rap, like early aughts rap.
That's fine. I do too.
Hey, maybe he thought that this was a good idea.
Dude, you do this on the plane going somewhere and I'm like, I'm never going to see it again. You don't post it.
Was that part of his normal show? because it looks like it was.
Yes.
I don't listen to Dan Rappaport. I had, by the way, Zane. Oh my God, I got flashbang today.
Listen, and then he had his social media people do that little cutout thing.
Hang it up, bro. Fire whoever that was that did that for you.
Dude, so whoever's on his team should have been like, Dan, I know you want to do this. We will
Please
get crucified.
Please don't do this. Dan, I see in your show notes you wrote Scotty Scheffler rap. Please don't do whatever you're about to do. And he'd be like, no, Dan.
Yeah,
don't do it. I'm serious.
You look at me.
Hey, I was right here, big guy. Not funny. Don't do it.
Stop it. Oh,
At any
dude.
point, if you write in your show notes, Scotty Scheffler rap, it's time to hang it up.
I could read these all day. I will definitely be reading these tonight.
So by the way,
hold on. Alex Smalley. I don't know if it's the actual Alex Smalley, but I hope to God it is.
It's probably not.
He put one video was enough. People have families.
I literally already said that one.
Oh,
it's not the Alex Smalley. So I got flashbanged at work the other day.
You got what?
No laying up got brought to me in the wild. Brought up to me. And I was just like, whoa.
Okay.
He was like, oh, I saw this interview the other day on this podcast. Have you heard of it? And then he's like, I think it's called No Laying Up. And I was like, and I was like, dude, I fucking hate those guys.
You told him that?
Yeah. He was like, well, it's just they interviewed CPG. Do you know who that is?
Mm-mm.
Club Pro guy.
Oh yeah.
They interviewed him, and apparently it was funny. And I was like, okay, well, as long as they're not talking about anything topical.
Yeah, as long as they're not giving opinions.
Yeah, if they're just interviewing a guy, I don't care. But if they're giving opinions, that's where they got problems. Those guys are dumb. Those guys are like critically dumb.
I love this, dude. F this Dan guy.
F this Dan guy.
F this Dan guy. Golf used to be cool, man.
Yeah, I saw that. That was good.
That's so great.
Someone just wrote no. No.
I still can't. I think my favorite, if we had to rank our favorites on here, it's got to be the FBI one or the 100% gay. Like, those are my two favorite. Oh, man. Anyway, we ready to get into BMW?
Let's talk BM dubs.
Let's talk the BMW. So BMW. I am in.
Is Rory Mac playing in this one?
I believe. So. Yes, he is. I know he is.
Okay, I wasn't sure. He doesn't really play on the PGA.
He doesn't really play on the PGA Tour that often. So I am in the caddy. So if you'd like to enter that with me, that'd be great.
Okay.
I'm in the caddy. And I've got my team ready to rock and roll. Now, BMW, let's see what Data Golf has here. Yep, Bellarive. Let's see.
Oh, you using Data Golf again?
By the way, Scotty Scheffler's an 18.1% chance of winning this thing.
20K caddy?
What?
20K.
Yeah, 20K caddy. So it's the $5 one.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's go ahead and give our takes, Zach.
I think obviously you got to look at certain guys as got a really good shot to win, like Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah,
I think you can't really go wrong picking Scotty to win. That being said, I'm probably not picking him this week for a number of reasons. Number one, how much is he right now? I haven't even looked. 14K.
Yeah. Ungodly amount.
Ungodly amount of money. So I'm probably not picking him, unfortunately. But I think you'd be crazy not to think he's probably going to win. I mean, if his putter stays remotely hot, he's going to have a good week. I like Siwoo Kim as well. Siwoo Kim is another great player. Finished runner-up last week. It seems to be the thing that he does this year is finish in the top 5.
Facts.
He's had an insane year. Tommy Fleetwood's been right there a lot. Another top 10 for him. So, I mean, like, there's a couple guys that have a shot, I think, this week. I'd like to see 4 good rounds out of Fleetwood, Kim, Oberg would be another interesting pick. I'm not the biggest fan of Xander Schauffele, but, I mean, it'd be nice to see 4 good rounds out of someone else other than Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah. Yeah, so Bellerive, what I'm seeing is like driving distance is going to play a huge role in who wins. Let's see, relative importance here. It's going to be putting, driving distance, driving accuracy, and approach. Around the green, apparently at Bellerive is a lot less of a relatively important part of the game there. So just keep that in mind with your picks. Who you got?
I'm still picking. Give me a second.
Oh, you want me to go ahead while you're picking?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So I am going real cheap on the low side because I'm going to do something crazy at the high side. Just absolutely crazy.
I'm going to do something crazy.
Just crazy. I picked Nico Echeverria from Colombia. He went T12 in his last 2 starts on the tour, obviously at the Wyndham and then the St. Jude. He did do 71-70 on the weekend, so that's a little sus. But at the Wyndham, he went 68, 69, 62, 68. So I'm hoping he can do a little bit better here. He is a very good player, I believe, into the greens. Mm-hmm. So this is going to play pretty well toward his strengths.
He's also got decent distance off the tee, too.
Yeah, he also hits it far off the tee. So that is something that's really going to help him in this event. And he was super cheap. So go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, he was one of the guys I had already picked by the time you said this, but it is Nico Echeverria as well.
Yeah, he's just super cheap. You can't go.
He's super cheap. Finished top 12 last week, obviously playing well. And he finished top 12 while shooting even par in the final round instead of going under. So
right.
I think it'd be hard not to pick him at that value, $6,100. I think he's either the cheapest or the second cheapest player on the board.
Yep.
So it's hard not to pick him. He's also played well lately, like Zane said. Back-to-back T12s. He did miss the cut before that at the Rocket Classic, but made the cut at the Open. T36 at the Scottish, T30 at the Travelers. Made the cut at the U.S. Open. T40 at Memorial and T6 at the Charles Schwab. So, I mean, he's only missed 1 cut out of his last, 10 events?
Yeah.
And then back-to-back top 20s. I think at $6,100, that's insane value.
So my next pick is the Kiwi, Ryan Fox.
I didn't
off.
like that pick.
That's fine. You don't have to. It's my pick. So I picked him. The Open Championship. Obviously, he was the winner of that.
Yep.
FedEx St. Jude. FedEx St. Jude Championship, he didn't do super great, except for round 4. Round 4, he shot 67, which is kind of why I picked him because I think he might have found something. That's a quite significant gap from going 73, 73, 72. So, looking at that gives me kind of hope going into this next round at the at BMW at Bellerive. I think he can get something going there, which is all I really need him to do.
Alrighty. I'm going with a guy who has won this year on tour at my second spot.
I think I know who you're going to pick.
He played really well last week as well. He's played pretty good the last 3 weeks, or decent at least.
I know who you're
picking. T12. He had a T54 at the Wyndham, but I mean T18 at the Open before missing the cut at the Scottish, and then after that, or before that, T14 at the Travelers, made the cut at the U.S. Open, and then obviously won the RBC Canadian Open. We're going with Bud Colley.
I also picked the Jacksonville Jaguar.
I think again, it's about value, and you get a guy that just played extremely well at a playoff event, and a guy that needs to play well to keep going. I think that you wind up with a nice little thing there,
and he's playing well,
and he's in a good run of form. So, and obviously he's pretty decent off the tee, good ball striker. So
consistent.
And he's very consistent. 18 to 21 cuts made this year. So I like Bud Colley, especially at the value, $6,600.
Yeah, super cheap.
Super cheap, and I think definitely worth the money there.
I also picked Buddy Colley.
Okay.
And we just explained why. Your turn.
Alrighty. My next pick, because I picked so low, this next pick's a pretty significant jump. But I like this guy specifically because he played well last week. And he's long off the tee. He did miss the cut a couple weeks ago at the Rocket Classic, but he finished T13 before that at the 3M. So he definitely still has the ability to go low, and that is my swing crush, Jake Knapp. When he's made the cut this year, he has 6 top 10s, so he is over 50% of finishing in the top 10 when he makes the cut. No cut event, so I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Nice.
Sweet. Jake Knapp, $8,200. I think that's a pretty. I wouldn't say he's undervalued there. I think that's pretty properly valued for Jake.
He will WD, and you will lose because of him. On to my
That's
pick.
happened like twice this year.
I know.
Specifically with Jake Knapp.
I know. I picked Gary Woodland. Gary Woodland I picked because T42 at the St. Jude, T10 at the 3M Open right before that. He seems to go low at courses that are similar to this one. He does have distance off the tee.
Mm-hmm.
He is pretty good into greens. His approach game is pretty good. So I think as long as he can putt well, I think he's going to do great things. I know that I did see him a little bit in round 4. He failed to capitalize on some of his shots into greens with his putter. I hope that changes, but he looked good at the beginning of the week, put up a 66 in round 1. So, and that was coming off 67, 65 in the previous tournament. So I picked Gary Woodland.
All right, my next 2 guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say that they're undervalued right now, and that's not to say that they don't cost a decent amount, because they do. But I think there's a couple guys above them who I think who should not be, and we're gonna start with the first guy on that list, and that's Hideki Matsuyama. Has not missed a cut this year. Has 6 top 10s, 3 of those coming in the last 3 weeks. This guy's playing incredibly good golf right now, quite frankly. Does not struggle with distance off the tee. Very good ball striker, although he finishes one arm most of the time. And when that putter's hot, it's really hot. At $9,000, I think that's a steal for a guy that hasn't had a finish outside the top 10 since the Open Championship where he finished T14. I mean,
it's a pretty good pick.
At $9,000, I think that's really, really great value. I think that there's definitely a chance he could find himself in the winner's circle this week. He has played incredibly well this year.
I picked Xander Schauffele, who has been on a run ever since missing the cut at the Genesis. He went T18 at the Open, T2 at the Rocket Classic, and then T7 at the FedEx St. Jude. I think that this is going to be I think this very well could be a win for him, especially with his game fitting Bellerive so well. Distance off the tee. We just talked about approach, right? Driving accuracy. All these things he's very good at. So I think that he's a pretty good pick for this thing. And the only reason I pick him, I do think he's overvalued for what you're getting for him, but I picked all those guys that were cheaper, which gave me him, so I picked him.
All righty. My next pick, a guy, again, incredibly undervalued, I think, with the year that he's had. 12 top 10s, 22 of 23 cuts made. Siwoo Kim has played insane this year. He in his last 4 events, he's got 3 top 10s. The only one he did not was at the Rocket Classic. He finished T42. His last miscut was the U.S. Open, and it was his only miscut of the entire season. He has not found himself in the winner's circle yet this year. I definitely could see it happening this week. He's been impressive this year, man. He's been really, really impressive. At only $9,100, I think he's been more impressive than a lot of guys that you have to pay more for. Yeah, Siwoo Kim. 12 top 10s this year. You're taking Scotty at 1.
We will. I'm not gonna do a Dan
We want Scotty.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's what they did. Oh man, I didn't even mean to pull that.
Oh,
I didn't even mean to pull that. Oh, that's great. No, Scotty Scheffler. Like, I have to pick Scotty Scheffler. There's too many of these guys that are because we're in the playoffs, because there is no cut. There's too many of these guys that are on the low rungs that can finish so high.
Yeah.
You know that. I am picking the guy who very well may win. Again, if he plays remotely,
he's the odds-on favorite to win.
He might just win 2 in a row in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So this is, it is the pick. It is the pick.
I didn't take Scotty, obviously, because I spent a little bit more money than you did earlier.
Sure. I get it. You pick Siwoo, you pick Hideki. It makes sense.
Yeah. I spread my money out a little more evenly. It gives me, again, Scotty is the odds-on favorite. Like, you'd be insane to deny that. But
did you have enough for?
Yes, I did. I had enough for a guy that maybe enough players have been eliminated from the field where he can win this week.
Tommy, we love you. Don't
let
Tommy
Fleetwood, 8 top 10s, 18 to 19 cuts made.
Don't let Zach harsh your mellow.
He's got back-to-back top 10s now, T7 and T4. And then before that, we talked about how he just does not finish outside the top 15.
He just doesn't.
His last finish outside the top 15 actually was the only time he missed a cut this year at the PGA. So, again, he's one of those guys where it's like, yeah, he's gonna put up points. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. He's gonna put up points.
That's what
he's gonna finish near the top of the field. Do I think he can win this week? Yes, he could win every week. He's that good of a player. He really could.
Well, he couldn't, but yes.
Are you saying there's 20 too many players in the field for him to win? Is that what
yes,
you're saying?
that's exactly right. Yeah. Too many.
So, there's only 50 players. He's only going to beat 49 guys now.
Yeah.
He's beaten Scotty Scheffler before when there was only 30. So
we'll see the threshold.
We'll
see what the cap is.
Yeah. I think he finishes. I think he gets his 3rd top 10 in a row at minimum.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna say 8th place.
You're saying T8? I don't hate that. I would like it to be better, but I don't hate that. But again, at that point, you wind up choosing between guys like Sam Burns, Xander Schauffele, Ludwig Oberg, Cam Young. I just know where he's going to finish.
Yeah, that's an accurate statement.
I know he's going to be, at worst, if he has a bad week, he's going to be T15. Most likely, he's going to be top 10, top 5.
Yep.
Whereas with guys like Cam Young and Oberg, they can have bad weeks where they just finish T30. And Scott, and obviously Scott, but Tommy just doesn't have those weeks. So.
Yep. Agreed.
But we'll see how it goes. I like my team more than I like James because I think we got a little bit more depth. But James definitely top of the roster is a way to play this. We'll see how it all plays out this week at the BMW. Until then, we will see you guys next week to talk everything going in to the PGA Tour Championship. And if you need to, listen to Real Eminem